DocuSign, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I'm gonna have a mix of DocuSign and Authentisign people. I'm gonna be talking about Authentisign because it is the free platform that we all have access to. So that's why I focus on it. If you're a DocuSign person, I apologize. Carly does DocuSign, and I'm sure she'd be happy to do a separate session with you guys. But for today, I'm just gonna be doing Authentisign. So what I'm going to be doing is showing you exactly what's going to happen when you email the front desk girls. You guys all know that the front desk will write your offers for you. So I've gone ahead and I've already sent an email to them about 10 minutes ago, just to let them know that I would like an offer typed and all the details that we need. So I'm going to be doing exactly what you would do as an agent when you receive that offer right up from them. Sorry, I'm just gonna get my pages here. I guess I could pop it up on the screen actually. Perfect. So I've got BrokerBay, which is the program again for booking and managing appointments. It's the way that you communicate with other people when you have a listing. So I'd say that you're mostly going to be in the back end of BrokerBay when you have a listing and you need to communicate with people for that. I'm also going to show you guys again what I just did with the front desk and how I got an offer written up and what details they needed. I will show you guys how to use Google Drive and access the offers and all of the paperwork that they do for us as well. And then we're going to go into Authentisign and pretend that I have an actual live transaction. Oh, what's happening?
Sorry, just sort of thinking names.
Oh,
Already overwhelmed
Oh.
with what?
with all this, offers and things and quality. I'm seriously.
Eli's overwhelmed. We haven't even started. I'm just on the checklist right now. We're going to go one step.
Still got a typewriter downstairs.
Yeah. And don't forget, we can still do the old school way. Like there's still gonna be clients that you're gonna be going to their house and delivering it. Like we've literally just done those as well. So this is for your clients that are on Authentisign. If this overwhelms you, the old school technique still does work. So you still can do paper to pen, bring your clients to the office, go to their house. So this is not a mandatory thing, but it will change your career where you can be at home doing offers instead of having to drive around. So you can be in bed, like actually, you can be on a beach, you can be drinking your pina colada while sending off DocuSign, Authentisign signatures. So it is a life-changing platform to learn. SkySlope, and we're not going to go into how to use SkySlope, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to get Carly or Paige to chat about it a little bit. It is in the back end after you've done the transaction. It's really just a way for us to ensure that we've got everyone's paperwork. I'm also going to show you guys a transaction report, which is what the deal admin need from all of us. And then we'll talk about the deal admin as well. So again, if you guys have questions, just feel free to leave them in the chat. I've got some people on Zoom, I've got some people in person, and then I've got some people on Facebook. So I'll keep an eye on all of those. Any questions before I start? Claire, did you want to say anything? You're going to sit back on this one. Okay, so let's talk about BrokerBay. To get access to it, there's a couple ways. So you can either log into Treb and you'll see a BrokerBay button. The other way is literally just to log into edge.brokerbay.com. If you've not I think you still have to create a profile actually. So if you've never logged into BrokerBay, you may actually have to create a profile still, which is your email address and then a password. Jenny, do you know if the agents still have to set that up on their own, right? Okay, so if you can't log into BrokerBay, chances are pretty high that you have not created a profile or you forgot your password possibly. Yeah, a lot of people just use it to book appointments.
So there's a lot more.
There's a lot more to it. So you'll see BrokerBay, and not every brokerage uses BrokerBay. We used to use Quick Office, I believe. So when we used to book showings, it looked a lot different. So it is the showing and appointment thing, but it's also very important when you have a listing. So
Also a mobile app.
and there's a mobile app. Yes, that's the other way. So you guys can download this on your phone. So if you have listings, actually, it's very nice to have it on your phone because you can look at all of the showings that have been booked. You can actually directly message the agents that have shown your property. You can communicate with them. There's quite a bit.
I'm noticing I'm not getting notifications from BrokerBay.
So that's probably in your settings. So let's go, let's see if we can go to our settings actually. Mine's going to look a lot different than yours because I've got a little bit extra things on here, but I'm just going to log in. So I clicked on my face So if you guys want to add a photo to your BrokerBay profile, you just log in. I went to account settings. You can change your photo here, your name, put your mobile number, your email address, all that good stuff will be here.
To be honest, that information's pulled from Trev.
Yes.
So even if you change it in here, an hour later, when Trev scrubs it again, it'll override it. So if you really want to change that information, it's actually manage my profile in Trev. It's connected to that.
Okay, because there's stuff here too.
Mhm.
There's also some instructions for the front desk. So some agents don't want, when someone calls and says, hey, can I have Eli's phone number? Some people don't want their numbers released. So you can keep this on, like, don't release my mobile number. You can forward your messages somewhere if you want them to go to another agent, maybe you're on vacation, forward your calls, set vacation dates. So this is really to communicate with the front desk when you guys get calls in to the
And if you
office.
Get your printer code has been loaded up in there.
I believe
Just
it's,
for you.
is it? Oh yeah, here's your printer code. That's also your employee number. So I don't know if Ginny puts that in. Who puts that in?
The girls. do
The
that.
front desk does that? Okay. Then there's this listing settings. So whenever you have a listing, so like I said, you're probably only going to use BrokerBay the most. You'll get the most out of it when you have a listing. So on here, you can collect automated feedback. So if you want feedback to be sent off to every agent that's shown your property, you just have to select that. Whenever feedback's collected and you want to be notified, you can do that. Automatically send feedback to the sellers. You can take that off because sometimes they give feedback about the house that you want to tell the sellers. You don't necessarily want it to automatically go to them. So I think we have that automatically selected there, but if you do want it to go to your clients, you can do that. Email you about automatic merge suggestions. Email you when the listing is going to expire. So in a week, it would tell you if it's going to expire or not. It pulls that from Trev as well. Here's the offer notification settings. This again is totally up to you. But when someone registers an offer, you have the option to automatically notify all of the showing agents, or you can just notify yourself and then you can decide if you want to communicate. So I typically think it's good for you to notify yourself before sending out a mass email, especially if you're holding offers and someone gives you a bully. It's going to panic everybody and start all this panic. So if you want some more control over it, you just want it to notify you. And there's strategy behind that as well. Showing configurations, this will be decided based off of each listing as well. So each listing, you're going to tell Kim or the front desk how much notice you need for each showing. It's going to be dependent on your clients. If you allow overlapping showings, and if you give no showing instructions, it's just going to automatically become this. So if you've got some picky clients, then you're going to want to customize that on that listing activity report that you send to the girls as soon as you list a property. And then you've got all the showing instructions here. So for each of them. Calendar sync, I guess. Oh, actually, that's kind of nice. You should do that. If you've got buyer showings, you can, I would sync it to your Google Calendar just so they can put it right into your calendar.
That's a new feature.
I've never done that before, so that's cool to have. So I would definitely do that. If you want to just automatically put in your calendar, I believe it would probably send you like the instructions too, to be honest, like the lockbox, you can probably click on there. So that's fun. Okay, and then there's user billing. So this will probably have nothing on it unless BrokerBay has some fancy things that they're charging you for. The other one, I think this will go to, I don't know if notification settings. Yes. This is, I think, what I'm going to go into individual ones so that you
Chad,
can.
your real
see.
question is a bigger question because it depends on what notifications you're not receiving. So is it on like showings of your listing? Is it office
Yeah.
stuff? Something is in your email it's blocking out spam then because you will get some stuff.
Well, let's see, office messages here. When you go to notification settings, when you open office messages, you get to select, do you want to receive emails or do you want to select text messages? If you have those off, then you're not getting anything. Let's see if Chad's got that.
Yeah.
I like to have both. I know Carly thought I was weird because I also get
Yeah.
text messages. So totally up to your preference. If you want to just get emails of like showing notifications or pages, I like to have both texts and emails because sometimes I'm not checking my email throughout the day as often as I am text. Same thing with showing updates. You can receive those by email or text as well. So that's up to you. Did Chad see it?
Yeah.
Was it selected off? It's on
So
it.
if I- my-
I
Okay.
have your email. Yeah, what was it?
Your text is turned off. Your text on.
Okay, so we'll check that after. Okay, so let's go to my team. So let's pretend that you've got a listing. Your showings would pop up here for both your listings and if you were doing showings as a buyer's agent, but I'm just gonna go to click on one of our profiles. So this is what, whenever you have a listing, it's gonna automatically pull the photos from Treb. It's gonna pull the MLS description. Everything on here is gonna be literally just from Treb. You'll see in the showings, this is gonna just give you a nice summary of all the showings that have been booked, basically. There's a lot of different things that you can do with these as well. If you want to email this to your clients, you can. There's a lot of different things that you can do with that. I wonder if I can show. You can export it to your clients. It tells you the summary of how many showings as well. And then again, it's like a nice little report that you can send right off to your clients. And Carl, let me know if I'm missing anything as I'm going through these.
You'll notice you like on MLS, you can only have 2 agents, but on BrokerBay, you can have a couple. So you can see the Fulton have all 3 of us here in BrokerBay, even though we know MLS is only 2 of us.
Yeah.
So an added feature for the team.
So I just clicked on offers. So you'll see no registered offers are registered. So if you have offers registered, you'll start to see this number go up. And then on the side here, you're going to see different things. So offer settings. So anytime you get a listing, I would definitely pop into this. So you can say offers accepted anytime, or if you have an offer date, you would select that. This is what the agents will see on the Treb side as well. If you receive any, if you are accepting preemptive offers, you can hand select that. If you're not, you can unselect it. So that's if your client signed that form. Forget what it's called.
Direction.
The direction, seller's direction. If they said no preemptives, then you can select that.
Now remember, like if you, you might want to be organized and you think I'm going to be organized, I'm going to put my date in here, but let's say your offer date doesn't work out for some reason, you have to remember to go back in here and change it. So we typically recommend don't touching it. They're going to see the instructions in the MLS listing anyways.
Yeah.
If you do want to change it, be organized, just make sure you go back and change it because you don't want people to see that after. It will
Exactly.
live there.
Yeah. And so you can change these settings too. Again, we leave them pretty blank. You can give your offer instructions on here if you want. Tell them like what time, what date, where to email it to. You can let them know what method you're doing, if it's in person, email, or other. You can allow showing agents to register their own offers. The girls downstairs are really good at this. If they get a registered offer, they're typically good at calling you as an agent to be like, hey, do you want me to let all the agents know, or do you want to just keep it? So I've noticed that they're pretty good at knowing that not all agents want that sent out, because typically sometimes they'll call the front desk to register it, or I think they get a notification online as well. So this is up to you if you want to let them register their own offers. Sometimes you can make them attaching an 801 mandatory as well, and it'll get sent right to you. This is good to have actually, because you do need to keep all 801s with your offers if there's multiple offers as well. And then it has to be verified, but you can hand select those as well. The other thing that you can change is like the offer registration template. It does give you a default one. So I'm sure you guys have received like, oh, there's 2 offers on this property. There's 3 offers, and you'll get emails of it. It'll just say, please be advised that an offer has been registered. Here's the total number of offers. So you can customize this as well, or you can just use the default. I think the default's fine, but again, totally up to you guys. This is another option. Like I mentioned, you can either notify all of the showing agents when an offer gets registered, or you can just notify yourself. And I'm going to show you a way that you can manually message everybody as well. So this again will be totally up to the strategy that you guys are doing. Feedback. So you can get feedback. There's been no feedback on this one, but anytime you do get feedback on a property, it will have it in that little section there. This is the message agents one. So we get this question a lot. How do I mass message everybody? So if you do want to say, hey, received an offer, we're now considering offers tonight, or like you want to manually change that message, you can type it up here. If you want to remove, maybe you got a bully offer and you want to use that offer, but you don't want to bother, like piss them off basically. But so you want to send a notice to all of the agents except that agent. You can actually remove that agent from that showing. or from getting this message, and then you're sending everyone but the bully offer to say, hey, we're gonna review offers tonight at 7. So depending on your strategy and how you like to do it, you can take away certain people from it. I was just gonna say, we got a lot of unsubscribes here, Yasmin.
Because you're getting us an offer or what?
Actually, you may want to check this because
Yeah.
you may not be getting any messages from any brokerage if you unsubscribed.
That's what you wanted.
No, I won't.
Yeah, so you.
So you may want to, resubscribe to
Yeah.
this because you may not be getting,
Because it's not just for this listing.
It's for all
actually of them.
listings.
Yeah.
so
Those other people too, they're missing out. on
these
a lot
guys
of
are missing
messages.
out on, I can't unsubscribe you, so
Mhm.
unfortunately you have to,
We can
if
set
you
it up.
want, but you may be missing quite a few messages, on that one.
Why? Because you unsubscribe when you don't want, but you're not interested in that one. You
Yeah.
get an email all the time, right? But yeah, when you unsubscribe, you do it for everything.
What's fun on this?
Repeat that. So if somebody unsubscribes and they show properties on another company's listings, they you'll get.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you unsubscribe to like all messages, not just.
It's
for-
like a castle thing.
It's not that sophisticated enough. Come on.
Not going past you, but-
No, those are different messages. Those are like office messages. These ones are like, offer registration notices.
So if we had an offer on this, you wouldn't know.
Property in Belder, or not Belder, downtown.
They'll get their booking confirmation, but they're not gonna get.
A mass
offer-
email.
Offer notification.
They won't get a mass email. Like if we were to manually send one, I don't think you would get it. So that's a scary one. Yeah, so on this, you can actually customize your message. I kind of like this. So you can actually drag, like, if you want to customize, be like showing agent's first name, you can be like, sometimes we send this out like the night before an offer date to be like, hey, here's what's going to happen on offer night. So we actually do use this. Be like, hey, thanks so much for showing the property. We're presenting offers at 7 p.m. You can add in like different tabs here as well to be like, I think there's one that says register an offer. So you say if you want to register an offer, and then when they get the email, it actually comes with a link.
Those little buttons. You
So
can even
there's-
do like view the listing here. It'll like click on it and
Yeah.
see the pictures.
Exactly. So this is, you're going to use the message showing agents before an offer date to communicate when you receive offers. And basically it makes it very easy just to mass communicate with everybody that showed the property.
And the girls can do this for you as well. If you direct them to, but this just to show you that you do have control over it also.
Yeah. Edit listing. This is really where I believe the front desk girls come in. I think, actually, no, sorry, this pulls it right from Stratus. Never
Yeah,
mind.
this is where, so you could, some information that does not pull is like the virtual tour or open house information. So you might want to load that into BrokerBay, but otherwise it does pull from MLS. So even if you were to change a field in here, MLS an hour later is going to override it.
Yeah.
But you can go and add your virtual tours, add your open house dates, and those will be unique to MLS.
Showing configuration. Again, this is where you put on your listing activity report. So anytime you have a listing, we have a one pager that just gives Kim, and I believe Kim does most of it, but, or all of the girls, but you'll send them all the instructions. So you'll say how much notice you want on a showing, how long are the showings, are you allowing overlapping showings? If you are allowing overlapping, it actually takes it off of the calendar. So it looks like you have no showings booked. I know when you go on some listings and you'll see exactly where the blocks are on the calendar and how many showings, that's because they're not allowing overlapping showings. So it depends on what you prefer. This is where the girls know to where they're approving showings. Some people want their client to be directly contacted via phone and will say, hey, Bob wants to show the property at 12. Is that okay? Sometimes it's a vacant property and you want to auto confirm all of them. Sometimes the listing agent's the one confirming. So there's a bunch of different ways. Access type, either it's direct, which means go directly to the house. Someone will probably let you in. Lock boxes, door codes, whatever they have. And then you'll probably select all of these to turn off the lights, lock the doors, take your shoes off. And then it has all of the listing agents' contacts on there as well, and your clients. Any questions on that stuff? It's pretty basic. Again, you won't use most of this until you have really listings, and then otherwise you book your showings on that platform on Treb. Okay.
You can add exclusive listings to BrokerBay. So if you have a client that says, what are you gonna do to market my home while we get it ready? You can mention that you'll put it on the exclusive BrokerBay.
Where do you
which,
do that
Our
again?
agents would get an email notification on it. And also all other agents that have access to BrokerBay can actually search for exclusive listings.
Where do you do that? Oh, create listing?
Yeah.
Can everybody do that or
Mhm.
can, okay,
Yeah.
so then you would just add your details of that. Okay. Admin, I don't know what you guys, I don't know if you guys are able to send announcements. Is it just us? Okay. So when you guys get announcements, it's unfortunate that it calls it an announcement when we're sending out like links to like office meetings, because it's not really an announcement, but it calls it an announcement.
Restricted, we can't change the subject title.
So
Usually I go through Thread to get into BrokerBay. Can you please
Yep.
go through to?
Yep.
use the other one again?
yeah, you can go right through there and it'll bring you right to the same page.
Yeah.
So you can either have an app, you can go through Treb, or you can just go directly. I think it's edge.brokerbay.com. So
Okay.
whichever you prefer. Let me see. I asked for an offer. I'm hoping it's ready. Let's see. Hasn't come yet.
So then anything for BrokerBay that you noticed, but you should know? Yeah.
I was hoping Joanne would have mine. Let's see.
I'll just throw up into things.
Yeah.
So Como, what we just went through is called BrokerBay. It's and the appointment booking system. So when you have a listing, you'll see the showings come through, and then as a buyer agent, your confirmations will also come through that system. So for appointments. and everything. We'll go through it with you one-on-one. Yeah. Yeah. Just letting her know where
Yeah.
she came in.
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll get into this a little bit. Could you message Joanne? So on if you're a new agent, you will get this package. It is the onboarding package. Otherwise, I can send it to you guys. But if you didn't know, the front desk admin will draft up all of your offers for you. If you are requesting it, we do have a one-page thing that I believe Ginny will give to you as well. Otherwise, what you do is you'll email the front desk. It's fulton.frontdesk@century21.ca. And you're going to provide them, you'll just say, hey, can you please type me up an offer? You'll give them the MLS number, the buyer's names, the purchase price, deposit, closing date, irrevocable date and time, and then either the standard clause is yes or no. I think it's good to let them know if it's a condo, a freehold, commercial as well. And then they'll also do your leases as well. So once you email that over to them, they're going to draft up the offer for you, and then they're going to email it right back to you. Do you have one? I wanted one that like felt like it was ready to go.
Be like,
Okay.
pre-populating.
I'm just waiting for the one page sent. When did you send it? Yeah. Did you send it to Katelyn? Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's pretend, okay, so usually they'll say received, and then they'll say, hi, your offer is attached below. So they're gonna usually attach the buyer rep agreement. They're gonna send an 801. They'll send you the confirmation of cooperation, so the CCR. They'll also send the APS, a Schedule B if they provided it, and then they actually also include your working with a realtor, FinTrack form. So basically every form that you need to fill out, they send these to you for a reason. So if you're bad at paperwork, there's no reason to be, because you're already getting sent the paperwork. So every single thing that's in this is what you need to have your clients fill out, except maybe the 801 if you're not competing. There's certain circumstances, but they will send you every single form that you will need. So now your job is to really go over it, edit it, make sure all the names are spelled correctly, make sure the legal descriptions are correct. The girls are just writing these up. So at the end of the day, it's still our responsibility as agents to make sure it's all correct. The girls are not licensed agents or anything like that. They're filling out all the paperwork though, but at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to make sure that everything is filled in correctly. So usually what I do, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Some people may have different ways. There's no right or wrong as long as it ends up the same. But I typically like to download each form. I'm just going to download a couple. So I'll download them. That's what that little button down there is, that little down button. You can also add it to your Google Drive depending on what your style is. Now, what you'll notice is when you open it from that bottom, you'll see that there's a blue area. So you can review every single thing on here. And if you find something is spelled incorrectly, you can just edit it on here before you're set with your final decision. Maybe there's a few things you want to change. So I would go through each of these forms and make sure that everything is filled in. You could, you'll have to resave it. So you'll type it in right here. So for example, this one, sometimes you'll say, oh, just fill out the details and leave the price blank. That happens a lot because you know you need an offer, but you're not sure what the price is yet until you want to see if you're competing or not. So sometimes you'll come in here, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to do $1 million. And then it, oh, sorry. And then, so you'll fill out sometimes, otherwise the girls will do it for you. You'll even see like deposits blank.
Can I correct something, just a technical thing?
Yeah.
The edits that she's making right now, because it's opened up in a web browser, those changes are actually not gonna save over to PDF.
Unless you
Unless
save.
you save it
Yeah,
to
you have to
PDF.
save. So I meant if you do want to make saves, there is still an extra
Yeah,
step.
yeah,
It's not going to
Yeah,
automatically
so we get
save.
that question a lot, like, how come my changes
No.
didn't save it? Because you just, like, you downloaded it, but you didn't really save it.
No, so
in
you
the
do have to
true
save
form.
it.
Yeah, so the other alternative is to open it up in Reader, and then you don't need to worry about it. Sorry, just making me get that a lot.
I'm gonna leave this one blank because I want to practice that. Okay, so like Carly said, I usually save it as a PDF afterwards, once I've got my saved everything. Except our computer's going very slow right now. Would have been worse if it was mine.
Yeah.
It's yours usually like this.
Mm-mm.
If you download it again, I've tried that for some reason, it doesn't save. Depends on your computer, I think. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. No, she's not wrong. So like,
Yeah.
if you want to go back and make changes again, it's gonna be static at that point. So that's why it's best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's really best to open it in Adobe.
Exactly.
It'll just live like evergreen.
Perfect. So you've got all that. So I'm not gonna do tricks because I already know it's gonna confuse everyone. So Carly might have to hold back on her tricks for a little bit because we got to keep it simple. I'm more simple brained when it comes to tech. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we'll let Carly do her tricks at the end.
No, more tricks. I just want you to make changes and then stress out about
Okay.
elements.
The best thing is just to have the girls write up everything up front and then you're not editing anything. Okay, so from here, you're going to log in. You'll see Authentisign and there's web forms. Some agents use web forms. I do not use web forms because I don't feel like it's necessary. If you're coming from a different brokerage, you may have web forms. So if you write your own offers, you may have web forms. I've honestly never used it before because I already have the girls writing everything for us. So what I typically do, there is this main page, which looks confusing as heck. So I always just go straight to the pen, just go straight to the pen and click add. And we're going to do test for Kate. So usually you could name this. If you want to do whatever the address is, you can do that. And then what's going to happen, it's going to give you this blank page. So what I usually do is I'll add the document. So all those forms that I just downloaded from my email, I will hand select them and I'll pick every one that I want. Let's see. And then we'll click open. And then you'll see everything's going to pop up here. So every form that the girls gave you now, it's created into one form. You can move these around. So if you prefer to have your buyer rep at the beginning, if you prefer to have your CCR, so you can drag these in the order that you want as well. And then you've got everything nicely laid out. So then from there, we're going to do signers. So up to you. So you can add yourself because there's going to be a few signatures for yourself. So I've got my name. You can choose your role as well. We won't go over templates, but there is a way where it will automatically put all the signatures in there, but we're going to be manual today. So we're going to say save. And then I'm going to add, who do I got in here? Do I have you, Carly? Let's add Claire. Okay, so you got all your clients. I would even put like, oh, he's my buyer. So from there, so I've already done docs, then we're gonna go to tools. So this is the tool that's where you're going to basically drag everything. Actually, you can see it automatically.
Yeah, so
It does automatically select it for you, which is very nice, but I didn't want that to happen.
Because you made him a buyer and
Okay.
it automatically populated it.
So it does recognize the forms. So if you want the hack, click on, decide who he is. And if you put buyer, it will. It doesn't do it for all of them, but it definitely did it for the buyer rep agreement and a few of the forms. I'm going to take off the buyer though. And see if that does much.
Yeah, 'cause that could be kind of confusing on a conscious.
Okay, so we're going to get rid of all of his signatures. We're going to go manual. So we all went to real estate school. We all know the forms, correct? That's what literally all they taught us in school. And it's one of the number one things I get from new agents is how do I fill out the forms? And it's probably the most time we spent was on these forms. So we won't go over that all today. Ginny likes to go over all that stuff when you're brand new. So if you want the one-on-one for where to put signatures. But for now, we're going to pretend Claire's our buyer. So I already know, I'm going to skip down to this.
I've already got him under
APS.
contract.
Already got him under contract. There you go. So you've got everything filled out. You've got the price. One of the things we didn't fill out was the deposit. So in order to fill out a deposit, there's this button called text box. So you're going to click text box and you're going to put it where you want it. So let's say the deposit was $20,000. So if there is ever a time where there is a blank and you need to fill it out, you just use the text box. And then if the box isn't big enough, you can see when you click around it, it lets you stretch it out. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing for the number. And then we'll select it there. Now let's say, so that's how you use the text box. Let's say that we wanted to change the price. We wanted to do some sort of sign back of some sort. The button you would use for that is either a line or a strike through. I prefer the line. And you just click and drag and you just cross it off. And then you do the same thing. You click and drag. Let's see. Yeah. And then you would do your text box again. So if you want to change that price, then you would just click it here. So if you wanted to make it like $1,050,000, and then you would do it again, $1,050,000 or whatever you guys want to type. Now let's say you have to initial those changes now. So they have all these beautiful little buttons here. You'll see initials. And all you do is you click it and you drag it over. So all the changes that you made, you'll click it and change it. So are we comfortable with initials and all that? So you'll basically drag this in all the little boxes.
So you've already automatically initialed here for him.
Yeah.
It has,
Well, this is just the template.
okay.
After this, we send it and then Claire will get it to his phone and then he can sign it from his phone.
Okay.
And then you'll get the same one as well for all yours. Now I'm trying to find a signature spot. Here. Now let's say we need his signature, not an initial. You'll see sign here. So you'll just grab it and you'll drag it to the spot. I'm weird and I even take the date and I move it to the date. So you can actually move this around. And then let's say if we want to change the signer to yourself, because you also will sign somewhere. So all you do is select the menu, select yourself, and then you'll see it sign here. And then I'm just going to drag mine down there. Now there's two really cool options to do this. You can either sign yourself right on the spot, which is that myself button. If you want to email it to yourself to sign, then you select the yellow one. Like you'll see it dragged my signature down here. With the yellow one, it's going to email it to me. So if you already know where you're going to be signing, I would just select myself and then your signature's already there. And then you're just getting your client's signature. I don't know if that will confuse anybody, but I just discovered this not too long ago. The other thing is sometimes your name is not fully in there. I know for agents, sometimes it's not. Let's see. Let's say I want to add my name beside Paige. So you'll see this one that says full name. You can just drag the full name and it'll put that there so that you're not manually typing in your name. So there is some spots that won't get filled out. If you want to put your email address in, let's say up here, you want to receive documents, you can drag your email address in there. Let's say you want to time something for,
Irrevocable.
yeah, like an irrevocable or the acceptance even. Sometimes you don't really, it asks you what time they signed it. Sometimes you're like, I don't know, will they sign it in 5 minutes? Will they sign it in 40? So there's this thing called auto time. So you just put that there. And then whenever they sign it, it'll pick the time for them.
Okay.
I even just grab the date as well sometimes. I don't know if this, Claire, you tell me from a broker perspective, if you just drag the date, will that be sufficient enough instead of filling out like the second day of October 2022?
As long as it shows up when they sign.
Exactly. So if you don't want to fill in those blanks, could you just drag in that date?
Yes, but they do.
So you heard it here, folks.
Okay, yeah, we're still filling everything.
I still do fill it in, but then there's times where you're just like, you know what, I'm on my phone. I just want to drag it in. Never use the freehand thing. I don't think there's any reason for us to be drawing on these things, but there is a freehand.
They should not have that.
They shouldn't have that there. There's no drawing. The line is perfectly enough. If you want to get rid of clauses, for example, let's try the strike through. I think it's like the same. So you either have strike through or you could do a line and then you're just dragging initials. Initial choice, don't pick that because that gives the client the option to initial. And then if you needed that initial, then don't do that.
It's better to have more.
So
than one.
typically, yeah, like typically you stick around, say, sign here, the initials, you'll use these quite often, and then text and lines. Those are the most. I don't even know what an ellipse is. Does anybody know what that is? I guess if you want to circle some
Highlight it.
I'm
spots.
trying to incorporate the old school.
I was just gonna say, this reminds me of when people would bring their stamps and say, sign here, and you'd stamp them all before you got there.
Still use it.
Yeah, keep doing it. That's pretty much all I have. Does anyone have questions on that? I know for me, it might seem very easy, but for someone else, it may be complicated as well.
Before, they must have changed it now. Usually we just drag and drop, or we just do it in a way that it will auto populate. So when the client get it, all they have to do is click,
Yep.
right?
So that's what's gonna happen after this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so once you fill out, so this first step is really just dragging all the signatures where like get everything where all your clients need to sign. So we've got all the buyer boxes. Here, I'll try to do a little more proper. You got the buyer boxes, the buyer box, and then I'll show you Claire's gotta get an email. So you fill out every little spot that you can. Once you've signed it all, so we'll go to the next step. Does anyone have steps on here before I move to sending it?
Just look at the signer, the participants. Just highlight that. These are the people, I'm gonna highlight the people that want to sign. So I'm signing right now.
Yep.
You want to sign, you're gonna highlight yours and everything changes. These are all the participants, right?
So if you have an extra participant and they will notify you, this person has not signed. So like you can't just add someone on there. If maybe you're dealing with maybe a more senior client, for example, you may have a senior client who's one of their kids is helping them with the transaction, or it could be a kid who has a parent who's part of the transaction as well. Let's see if I can find, do I have Paige on here?
You gotta be careful what you call them now.
Yes. Let's see, we're gonna add new. So if they're not part of this, you'll put their first name, last name, and then their email address. So if this is a brand new contact for you, this is how you add it. And now you always save it to contact list so that if you're getting them to sign anything in the future, you already have them. So always click that button. And then, so let's say Carly's actually Claire's POA. I don't know, maybe not POA. You're just reviewing it. So sometimes you can have someone that's literally just not a remote signer. They're actually just a reviewer. So they're not signing anything, but they're reviewing it with their parent or their child or lawyer, like whoever you guys want that is not going to be signing anything, but still wants to see everything before their client signs. Then you can add them as a reviewer. So Carly won't necessarily need to sign off anything. So she's going to get this email of everything, but she's not signing off. I don't know if you could do it with a spouse even. Sometimes there'll be a spouse and only one of them's purchasing it. And the wife wants to be a part of it, so she'll sign off on some things, or the husband's a part of it. There's many different ways for that. Is everybody on? Let's see. Okay. Do I have any questions on Zoom? We're all good?
No, you're gonna get to that part, but it gets sent to one person first. They do their business, comes back to you, and it automatically sends, or you have to send it to
You
the
have to
site?
send. So we'll do that now.
You can, you mean the signing order though? You can
Yeah.
set-
Oh, yeah. So you can set, yeah, so when you see this part, you can set the signing order. If you wanted me to sign first, then Claire. Sometimes that's annoying because one person's ready to go, the other
So it's
person's
best to
not,
let
and
it
you're
go.
waiting on that one person. So I've done it where I've sent cancellation forms and I'll do it so the client has to sign the cancellation and then Claire's the final signature. So sometimes we'll do it that way where I'll get them to sign and then it will send to him when the cancellation's ready.
Where I use
that's the only
signing
time.
order is, maybe the first person is gonna review it, and let's say they notice something, you want them to be the one to tell you there's something wrong with it, so you have time to correct it, versus if it goes up to everybody, one person signs it, but you then someone else finds a mistake, you have to redo it all again. So it just depends on the
Yeah.
scenario and how you.
Exactly.
This is Paul off.
So from there, we're done with our signatures. Now all I'm gonna do is click next. And they will give you an expiration, but I just leave it. You can also custom the invitation too. So if you want it to not sound so dry, you're like, hey, here's the offer, please sign. It'll send each participant a custom email. Otherwise, you can just send that one. So Claire's phone should go off any second now.
And there's a time frame it's valid for, or you set that?
No, you can set it, but it'll stay there.
Okay.
So let's see if Claire gets his. So this is what the dashboard's gonna look like. You'll see now that it's sent, there's 3 participants. You've got myself, I've got Claire as a signer, and then Carly's a reviewer. And then there's these options here. So if you wanna watch the signing details. We'll see that none of us have received it yet.
So that's showing you that they're actually signing or have signed?
Yes. So Authentisign means, or when it says authenticated, it means it went to their email. And then approved means they signed it. It used to be like this weird, like little flag. I
Yeah.
don't think it's that anymore, but I remember just waiting for that race checkered flag to go off. Claire, did you receive anything yet? Perfect. I know I just got mine. Let's see. Actually, I could open my email so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so I got this email that says, this is what it looks like on the client side. It'll say Katelyn Fulton is inviting you to participate as a signing party. I remember we had a senior clients that were using this and they were like, what's the signing party? And they got really excited that we were having this event.
Do we
We're
need to bring our
signing,
own
we're like,
booze, or-
no, just click the blue button. These were clients who actually had to go to their home because they were confused about the entire party and I didn't know how to describe it, but anyways. So what your client would do is click that big blue button, they'll accept. And then what they will do, or you will do, is click start. And you'll see here, it tells you where to click. So I think this is what you were talking about,
Yeah.
Lawrence. So I'll click it. I'm gonna click. The scary thing about this is the document goes so fast that they're not even really reviewing it. So I would highly recommend reviewing this document with your clients before you ship it off to them. So sometimes you can get on a call, say, I'm going to email you the offer, or I'm going to go over it before I send it, and then you can sign them on the signatures because it goes so fast. So before you send this, I would go over that transaction with them and let them know what they're signing. Otherwise, you're going to get in big trouble if you chuck a BRA in there and they had no idea a buyer contract was in there. That's a big issue that a lot of people see. So don't do that. Make sure you're still reviewing everything with them. So Claire, have you got yours yet?
Yeah, it's a word.
And then from there, it's going to let me know like that it was updated, that I had taken place. And then it will also say when I've accepted it. And then it usually it'll keep sending you notifications to let you know that it's done. I'm gonna go back to Authentisign. So you'll see here, it looks, I authenticated it, I received it, and then I signed it and Claire signed his as well. Carly's just a reviewer, so it won't show. So once you have all that, it will email you a copy as well, but you can also log right in, and then all you're gonna do is view latest signed PDF. Just kidding. Carly,
Wow,
yeah,
weird.
that is a weird button. Maybe that'll pop up. Okay. So this is just a certificate. I don't know. Some agents will send me it just as a certificate of when they got it. The other one is viewed signed PDF. And then there you go. So you've got all your signed PDFs. From here, you'll see all the different changes. I've got Claire's signature on there, all the changes. From there, this is where you'll download it, and then you'll send it off to the listing agent in their email. And you'll see signing complete. So the other option is to download a copy of the signed documents here. So if you don't want to go right back into Authentisign, you just click it from your email and you've got all the signed documents on there.
What are the advantages of Authentisign and DocuSign?
Good question. I've used DocuSign. There's things Carly likes about
Why are people
DocuSign.
paying for that?
What they're comfortable with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems like it's.
Yeah, they're the same.
What's good, I know that a lot of people liked about DocuSign was the fact that you could go back if you made a mistake. And Authentisign used to not give you that option. You were just kind of like, okay, I got to start it all over. Now you actually do have the option to go back. I don't have it on here.
If no one signed it, you can still edit.
You can like there's one where you can resend signatures and you can actually go back to it and then rechange everything. So before we didn't have that option. And I think that was the biggest one for DocuSign. And now that Authentisign has it, I don't see the benefit.
That's what you're comfortable with.
They Authentisign.
Yeah.
If you send the document out, they haven't start or complete
Yeah.
yet. You go with the dashboard, you can cancel it.
Yeah.
And then do it again.
Exactly. Yeah. So that wasn't an option before. I know that's why people started paying for DocuSign because they wanted that option. And now that it's with Authentisign, that's where I don't see the benefit of Authentisign anymore, but it's a preference for people as well.
It's not silly, so I can just log into DocuSign. I don't need to log into to get it. It's like
True.
30 seconds.
Is
If it works
DocuSign
better,
mobile
DocuSign-
friendly too? Like Authentisign is
Yeah.
not very easy
They're
on your
getting better.
phone.
They just updated their app last week. It's better, but it's still tedious. It's still too small to do something like that on the
Yeah.
phone.
Authentisign?
Either of them.
All of
DocuSign
it.
do
Yeah.
that, but it's still challenging. Still tedious.
Perfect. So then the final thing, is everyone okay with Authentisign now? I feel like it's fairly easy to use.
That's exclusive to our real estate one, right? Where DocuSign isn't, is it?
Yes,
Yeah, we can change it.
but it has to be before they sign it. So if you catch it, sometimes your clients will review like, oh, you spelled my name wrong. You're like, oh, great. Thanks for letting me know. Be like, don't sign anything. Go back in and then you'll go reset and then you go back in and you'll do it.
Reset,
Yeah. It's reset. I don't have it. There's like a reset, but you see how it says it's all signed, so it will be lost. So if they have signed it, I believe you can go back, but it's gonna erase everything that they signed, which is fine. I don't even think it'll let me do it on this one. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do it on there, but yeah, there is a reset button. Perfect. Now let's say, so the girls are open or they are writing offers from 9 to 9, Monday to Friday, 10 to 6 on Saturdays, and 10 to 4 on Sundays. So let's say that they're not available, they're not open, or they went home and you need to get an offer typed up. All you have to do is go into Google Drive. So you'll go to your little waffle, you'll see the Drive button there. You guys will have this option. It'll say C21 Percy Fulton files.
That's provided.
Yes, you have to use your Century 21 email address to have access to this. So from here, you'll see offers and forms. So you would select that. Then you would select 2022 forms. We also have BDAR applications and PCAR applications here, but you'll go to 2022 forms. And then we've got pretty much everything here. So what I wanted to show you guys as well. Let's do offers first. So you'll go to offers, so you can either do a lease, a sale, a lease or a sale. You can do commercial as well, but all of the forms that they are filling out are all here. You just have to fill it out yourself. So when you click that little print button, remember the blue would pop up, so you guys can fill out all of these details. So obviously, it's much quicker when the admin do it for you, but if you are in a pickle and it's after hours, everything is already there. All of the clauses are already there for you as well, so you don't have to go into a panic about those. So you're mostly just filling out the client's names, the address, and all like the finer details of the home. It also has all your BRAs, like all of this APS, sorry. It's got the confirmation of cooperation, the offer summary, so your 801, and all the good stuff. So you'll also see that there's condos on there, there's freehold. I think we even have a pottle one on there, co-op, co-owner. So all the different forms that you need are all there. And then all the additional forms. So working with a realtor, this one's commercial. This one's residential. So working with a realtor, the privacy policy that we get you guys all to sign. And then of course, the favorite FinTrack form. So everything's in one big package. So if you're always ever concerned about what to fill out, it's already there for you. The final form. So once you've had all the forms signed, we also have a transaction report. So if you've done your first deal and you are confused, just message us. We'll let you know about this paperwork. We'll even review your paperwork for you. So if you're nervous about an offer, I know Nelson, Ginny, us, if you guys are on a weekend or evening and you're doing your first offer, just call us and say, hey, can you review my offer? And we have no problem doing that for you. Once your transaction's done, this is the form that you're going to fill out to give to Jeremy. It's the transaction report. So this is really just a summary of everything you just did. So otherwise, Jeremy's got to sift through all this paperwork that you sign, and he's trying to get it all done as efficiently as possible. So the more you can fill out, especially when it comes to commission, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, if someone dropped their commission or what's going on back there. So we need to know, especially your commission, what the price was, if it's firm or conditional, closing dates, the other agent, all of that. So you'll fill out all of these. It even has a checklist of all of the forms that you need to hand in, and the seller's lawyer and the buyer's lawyer as well. And then you'll send it to Jeremy, and then he can do your transaction report a lot easier. Yeah.
I have a question. Do you mind to put a cursor at the agent's name, the field, to see whether you can type your name on it?
Yep, you can. So once you click print, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
No, I mean, that's the cursor at the
You have to
bottom.
download it.
You have to download it first. So you click print and then it pops it up as a downloadable. And then when you click it, then you like this one, you mean? Like type it?
When I have experience when I put up this form, I fill in that because there's a blue color there, so brilliant. But when I come to the bottom, the agent's name, I couldn't.
Oh,
type it.
yeah.
Oh, that's what.
Agent's name. So you have to write it, but you're supposed to sign it. But you
I
can
just
type it.
You can do it.
Yes.
Yeah, because the time when I did it, I couldn't type it. They give me the message. I had to go through some process.
Oh,
Had the name there. So that's why I want to know.
Interesting.
now the same or different.
interesting.
Yeah.
It might
That's
be
why
the
I had to fill it
computer.
out and physically sign.
Ah,
But I found for two. One is like I printed out physically, put my name there and signature.
Mhm.
And the other one is I had to go through some process, create a name, don't
interesting.
have it there, so that's why.
Good to know.
You can open up an Adobe and they can do fill inside too.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's why I cannot directly to type it and sign.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. I know the sign, you have to print it to sign it. Or sometimes I send it to myself on Authentisign and I sign it. So it depends on
You can do it in
process.
Adobe.
In Adobe, you can.
Yeah, that's that you have one more step. One, two, there.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll look
Yeah.
into that then.
I
Um,
frustrated, I just print it out.
yeah, interesting. So yeah, those were all of the sale ones. You also have leases on here too. So if you've got any lease offers coming up, all the paperwork's there for you. If you're doing commercial as well. And then we have the additional forms for this. The only one for leases you don't have to do is the FinTrack. So it may be included on there, but if it is a lease, you don't have to fill that out. Anything else on Google? Oh, I wanted to show the the listing transaction. So let's say you have a listing pop up. We've got this beautiful form called the listing activity report. So when I was going over BrokerBay, I was just telling you guys there's a form to send over so that they can write in all of the showing instructions. So you'll fill this out. Again, you can download it and then you can type in everything and then just email it over to them. So you'll just put the address, your name. Do you want a for sale sign ordered? Sometimes you've already ordered the for sale sign before you even do this part, but if you do need a sign, don't forget to email the front desk. They'll order that for you. And then you just select how you want the appointments to be confirmed. Again, it can be auto confirm. Sometimes you want the sellers to confirm via email. Sometimes you want us to call your clients to confirm it. There's all different types. If there's another way you want, then we can do that. You'll put your client's name, the phone number. Let us know if it's the seller or if it's the tenant that's going to be in there. This one's a big one. If you do, there is the COVID waiver still that you guys can have the option to do. If you say yes, they will not confirm it until that we receive the signed copy from the buyer's agent. So if you select yes, it may slow down the showings, but if your client is very picky about having people sign it, then that's when you'll do the waiver forms. Is anyone still doing that actually? Yeah.
They're
So,
asking,
okay.
and I typically say, yeah, and when I'm booking appointments,
Yeah.
a lot of times I'm still getting the signature,
Yeah.
the page, nobody reads it, yes. I
No one's
agree.
reading them at all. That's why I was wondering if anyone was still doing them. Because I know that was a big thing during the pandemic. If people selected this, they were wondering why they weren't getting confirmed, and high chance was because that buyer's agent had not signed the form and it was preventing all these issues as well. How long you want the showings? I think we could do 30 minutes to an hour now. We were doing 15 minutes for a while and that was crazy. So choose if you want 30 minutes, an hour, how much notice they want. If it's a tenant, obviously 24 hours. Sometimes your clients just want a couple hours. Sometimes there's showing time restrictions. If you have young kids or maybe seniors that want to go to bed early, put the time restrictions on there. How to access, so you have to put the lockbox there if there's a lockbox code. If you've got a condo, very detailed instructions would be very nice, like yellow ribbon on this pole here.
And a
On
picture.
BrokerBay, you can actually take a photo of it and put that on there as well, so that you can give a very direct picture of what that lockbox and location is as well. And yeah, so you can do the lockbox location photo and just send it to the girls. And then any special instructions, and you can select here if you want to be notified via anytime an appointment is requested, confirmed, time change, or canceled. And you can decide if you want to email all those changes to your sellers too. Sometimes we just send it to them when it's confirmed. Totally up to you guys on that too. So that's one of the forms you'll send off to them. Perfect. Any questions on that stuff?
What's that matter for?
This
Matterport.
is so that they can load in the virtual tour on the BrokerBay. Remember I showed you that section doesn't pull in from MLS, so the girls can actually load in the virtual tour link in BrokerBay, or agents can also do it
Virtual
themselves.
tour
too.
or
Either one.
Both.
it just-
The iGuide could be Matterport, could be a virtual tour, just a link to it that lives in BrokerBay.
Yeah. So if you're using Spotlight, they'll give you like a link for the virtual tour, and one's branded, one's unbranded, and then we just send that to the admin and they'll download it for you. Then again, for that offers for showing or the notifications for the showing agents, you can decide if yes or no, or you can go back into BrokerBay and manually do it yourself as well. And we typically update this form like every year. So if you're using an old one, try to download these new ones.
Yeah, you'll see at the bottom of the date, this one's
Yeah.
December 2021.
So we're probably due for one this
not.
December, maybe.
Pretty
We've
good.
updated it quite often. Okay, so that's all that stuff. Again, I will send out this booklet for you guys too. It just tells you again what to give the girls for details when you're getting an offer write up. If you guys are requesting sign installations, this is the details the girls need, the office hours, and then all the required documents that you need. So if you just need a nice summary of all the documents, it's all on there too. Let's go back. I think we've done pretty much most of it. Do you guys want to talk about SkySlope? That's the only one I haven't talked about.
TMI.
too much information.
Benny,
You're
go.
done.
I'm well done.
You also
ADD.
check for next week too, right?
No,
Let's just touch
Oh,
on-
I
I'm on my last back to school session.
Okay.
We are
let's
done.
just touch on SkySlope.
Do I'll talk to you on the floor of that. then.
I don't, oh yeah. I'm like. I'm giving this one over to Carly and
For
Paige.
some reason, I thought you had one more.
No, we are done.
Those are night courses.
We're gonna go back, right? We're gonna go back into systems for success after this. I'll let you log in. Paige is coming in.
We can kind of talk with each.
Hello, everybody.
I
don't have it on share screen or anything. Okay.
So what SkySlope is, it's a document sort of tracker, with a checklist of all the documents that are required by the brokerage.
It's remembering.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Wow.
Little
We know they
voice.
can hear me. Can you all hear Carly?
Hello, hello. You should be able to hear me now. I was just saying SkySlope is a transaction management sort of software to keep track of your documents for compliance reasons. So what's required by the brokerage and what's required of you of your forms. There's two ways you can use it. Right now, we've been using it for about 4 years behind the scenes. You might not even know. So we've been using it for a while. We were the pioneer of SkySlope in Canada. We were one of the first ones to use it and test it.
Can you share screen?
Yeah. And we're using it right now behind the scenes, but you all do have access to it. So the very second you submit a transaction to Jeremy, your very first one, you would get an actual SkySlope login. If you don't have it right now, we're happy to resend it to you. And this is sort of what the main thing looks like. Paige is an auditor, so she sees way more sections than what you may see. But essentially in SkySlope, a listing is a listing. So it's all contained in the managed listings. And a buy side is considered a transaction. So there's two sort of categories. When your listing sells, it turns into a transaction. So in the end, they're all transactions. So when you submit something to front desk, let's say you've got a listing, you submit the documents to be broker loaded, they are actually right now loading it into SkySlope for you. So that's one step that they're doing for you. As you send documents to Jeremy or the front desk house, however you get it to the Jeremy, it also goes into SkySlope automatically. We have some agents like Mo's, he just does it himself. So he goes into SkySlope himself. He loads in all his documents, his listings. Do you want to go back to your screen? or-
Yeah, I stopped sharing for a second just so I can go into maybe one before showing everything.
Okay.
I want to do a
Just
list.
I would just do a new one. Just do it from scratch. We'll just do a new one.
I'm not seeing everything here.
There's like hundreds of transactions in here, yeah. And so you'll always have access to whatever was yours, whatever was tied to your name. It's there right now. Literally, you could log in and see all your transactions, probably for the past 3 years.
We're back to sharing.
So if you wanted to do it yourself, I mean, I wouldn't do your listings yourself. Let the girls do it, but I just want to show you sort of how it functions. It is here. So we would enter the listing first, and this is what the girls are doing for you right now. Just do like 230 Rougemount or 530 Rougemount. It does use Google Maps to facilitate the address, so it's not a manual entry. It will search Google, so you just have to click on it.
So you just type in your address, let Google search it and do let's go.
And then I have to pick an agent. So it already has all of our agents loaded in as well. It's going to ask me to type commercial lease, listing residential sale, listing lease, or commercial.
Put in your listing price. Commission, let's just say we're doing 2.5,
3%.
2.5. If you did have other agents, you could add them here as well. Listing date, put in your listing date, expiry date, put your expiry date. And so let's just pretend I'm a seller here.
Seller and agent.
And here you go. So I guess.
And then it creates a listing. So it's automatically going to create the listing and it's going to bring up a whole checklist of everything we need. So automatically we know we're going to need privacy policy, working with a realtor, FinTrack, mortgage verification if you have it, so it's applicable, if applicable, the listing agreement, MLS data information form, and the activity report. You could also add seller's direction or any other listing documents you had.
Question.
Yeah.
Like when you load the listing on the ML app.
Yes.
You will connect with BrokerBay to add all the information with the BrokerBay. But this one, like, when you go on ML app, so ML app not same with this one.
No,
So like a manually key in.
that's right. Yeah, and that's what the girls are doing right now.
All you put in is the address, and the commission. That's, so no other information.
So they have numbers, not.
No.
Then what you do, you add in the documents to this file. You're not taking it, you're adding the documents.
Yeah, it's a document
Not
checklist.
unless it's- Here's a copy of the listing, here's a copy of the one, here's a copy of my.
All the stuff you're saying on paper.
So rather than have it actually do girls, you have to upload. So you're not including it.
I just want to know the relationship.
Yeah, no connection to MLS. So the girls, like they will all have already your listing activity report, your listing agreement, and your data form, because you all fill that in and accurately, and it all goes to the front desk. They're going to load it in here for you. So by the time you come back here, you'll see those 5, 6, 7 in the checklist there. Those will change from required to approved, and you actually see attachments in there. Now, when it sells, eventually you're going to go to accepted offer. I guess we can show it. Yeah, click on it.
Just wanted to also make note that each of your properties will have its own unique email address as well. So if you were ever to, you can either choose, we won't get too into it because we're not a full SkySlope training, but you could just send all your documents to this email. It will all go into this checklist.
Kind of. So it actually goes into the document tab up there, and then you've got to assign it to the checklist.
Yeah, that's like a more thorough training that we'll need to do,
Yeah.
but. yes.
Yeah.
Polly,
Mhm.
you're missing some documents that you forgot to
Yeah,
send.
yeah.
You can send them, would it be better to send them to Jeremy or just?
It's as you wish. Jeremy right now is using this for you. It's more depending on your comfortability. It'd be great if you just got them in there for, like, he will get a notification. As soon as you load it, he gets an email that says Yasmin's loaded in this document. He goes in and approves it. Alternatively, if you want to send it to him, that's whatever you're comfortable with. It's a service that we're providing to you. That's our main point, is that you have access to it. Otherwise, we are going to service it for you. We're not going to charge you for it, but it's here for you. And you, when you're missing documents, you actually get an email, I think daily, weekly, I don't know how often, probably one time you get an email that says what you're missing, and you probably get a little frequently, one time. So that's our way. If we get in trouble, we'll say, well, SkySlope reminded them and they didn't submit it. Yeah, he'll still push out things like as he updates it, he'll push it out too. So you'll see him using it behind the scenes as well. So for us, we like it because it keeps us compliant, it keeps us organized. You might like it because you can go back in here and view any of your documents. Maybe you've got a past client, you need to go back and take a look at it, or it's just sort of a repository for all of your documents. It lives here forever because we know CRA, you have to keep it for 7 years, so it lives here.
Did the use go over complicated the first time you're using it? But as you use it like for 2 or 3 times, you'll get to the hang of
I
it.
think I need to go back and see all the missing documents and see if I can just find.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just a compliance question, actually. When if Rico for some reason audited an agent, is this considered good enough, or do they need the physical? I guess no one's really doing physical copies as much anymore, but is this considered compliance just by having a scanned version of it? So it's good for everybody, and we can get rid of those banker boxes
That's
that are
right.
in basements. Everyone probably has.
Yeah. So this is the listing side. Remember I said when it sells, it turns into a transaction. So Paige is going to click on accepted offer. So these are all the documents required for the listing. And then you'll see there are some required fields that are there already because we did put some in already. I think they're mostly filled out. Is that a required field now? MLS number. We made that required because it does help Jeremy. So he is putting MLS numbers in there. Sale price, that's your final sale price. Anything that's not a required field, you do not need to fill out. So acceptance date, obviously we need to know. The important one is checklist type. So again, you're going to say, did you rep the buyer on this? Was it a commercial lease sale? We already know it's a listing, so there must be listing sold. So if you did not represent the buyer, you would click listing sold residential. If you rep the buyer, it would be buyer representation. So do listing sold. You might have to populate some of those dates, the required fields, so you can make them up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't.
That's okay, we deleted it off.
Yeah.
So the sign.
Well, it's already in there because we were loaded, so now it's gonna have it twice. It probably,
We'll figure it out.
okay.
28 million. Let's go for that.
Closing date. I think that's it. It'll flag you if not. We do not use these fields, but if we got really fancy one day, we could put all of the information about the buyers, the lawyers. In the US, they have lender and home warranty information as well, but none of this is required. So we skip through all of this. So you just hit submit at the top. Just confirmation. So you just hit submit again. And now you have a new checklist that includes a transaction report, the sold MLS listing as a PDF, the APS, confirmation of representation, copy of the deposit, and you may have a whole slew of other things like Schedule A amendments, waivers, other docs, surveys that you can load in as well. So now you've got both sides listing and the sales documentation. And now it lives here forever. That's really high level SkySlope. So like I said, we're servicing this for you behind the scenes. If you want to get into this yourself, we can do a one-on-one session as well. There are online videos also we can send.
Go back and search for another thought.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop share for a moment.
Sure. So we'll stop sharing because we have access to like all of them. So
Alright.
she's gonna find one and then we'll pull it up.
What about Authentisign verification papers that you get when you've done Authentisign?
That's a good clarify. I don't really want those. If you are organized and you want them in there, you can load them in as other docs, but they're not required.
They're not required.
No,
are
because
they?
they also live in Authentisign
Well, that's what I
forever.
was thinking. I've never really downloaded them
Yeah, I wouldn't.
specifically. I've just kind of
Yep.
left them in the background.
I would, yep.
Okay, so
They're all time stamped, so
Okay.
if you needed to go back, it's there. Find a good one.
let's not get any more complicated than we need.
No, that's right.
Okay. And back to share.
Okay, so here's one that had the listing documentation. Maybe do that one first page at the bottom. So you can see listing agreement form says completed, it's in green. If it was not green, it would be red and you would know it's pending. MLS data form is there, working with a realtor. You see all the completed, it's all green. So this person would have got a very green checklist to their email. The only thing that's pending for this particular one is a deposit receipt copy, and it is actually there, it's just pending approval. So that means someone did submit it, it's just pending Jeremy's approval to make it completed. That's really it for SkySlope. It's not anything fancy, it's just a tracker. Lots of red.
I picked one of mine, so I'm good.
Oh, pick one at Sanix or something.
So my mom, we get CRT, Interact comes in, does their audits, right? They wanted to make sure we have every farm, so I can figure out the file right quicker, and I can find whether or not we have all the proper files, without me having to go to the actual file itself.
Yeah.
So that's the, yes. And we talked to a lot of brokers over the years and agents keep doing this.
Yes.
That's why we haven't made it mandatory. Some are just mandatory, right? So it's mandatory to these types of programs.
Mandatory, like as if you're not even getting your commission check until every single one of these is green. That's how harsh they are.
That's mean.
It's
That's how they do it. I mean, for me, I'm not need to see it. I'm gonna go take you guys, so I'm a different attitude, so. but,
That's the nice.
Somebody else's attitude of the government, yeah, you'll.
yeah. So if anyone wants to like get into it more one-on-one, happy to do that. We're servicing it for you, but
In the future, let's see, if I'm trying to look for a file, somebody asked you for a file that sales did like 2 years ago, right? Rather than have a big, your own thing with boxes and find what's going on, you just go to this program and over have.
It's supposed to be our paperless route. So when you hear those paperless brokerages, we are paperless. We're just not forcing it either.
It's very
Yeah.
organized, isn't it?
yeah, if we do get paper, which we still do downstairs, we just load it into here. So it still lives in a box and we still do keep it for 7 years, but we do load everything here. So we're encouraging everyone to get
I'm
on
a
this.
paper person.
Yeah, that's
We're gonna try to get you out of it. It's okay to be paper.
Yeah.
It's just less stuff to know.
It's old.
Thanks, Paige.
Yeah, like, so
I think
you can
that's
come
it.
back in.
Does anyone have questions on all that?
I stopped the share.
Okay, so I think that's it. I know it's a lot of stuff, but these are things, I know the first two you'll use every day. So at least hopefully you guys got that. Next week is Thanksgiving, but I will have a guest speaker coming in on Wednesday. Not in physically, it'll be on Zoom. She's gonna be talking about client gifts and things you can do to maintain relationships with people. I'll be honest, she's from Cutco, but she did send me a really cool knife and I was kind of impressed with it. It had my name engraved on it. I don't know. Well, I got suckered into it, so she's gonna come. It's gonna be fluffy. It's gonna be fluffy. But because she sent me a knife, I said she could come talk to you guys. So if you guys are thinking about different client gifts and whatnot, I've seen a lot of agents do it out in Alberta. There's a guy, another Century 21, he gives out knives every quarter. He does draws and gets email addresses. So it is kind of a smart way to get connections and all that. So that's gonna be next week. And then I'm hoping, I haven't even talked to Claire about it yet, but I want to get back to our systems for success and maybe do a 4 to 8 week program. And just go back over all the systems that we've been working on for the last year. And I think we'll end off our quarter with that stuff. Let's see. So because we have access to SkySlope, we can stop keeping paper records and deals ourselves in our own files.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, that's all we got. What's that? No.
You can probably hear you.
Okay, guys, that's all I have. So I'll keep this recording. I've actually put all the other recordings on YouTube, so I'll send you guys a mass email if you guys missed any of the other back to school sessions, but we are done back to school and now we'll get back to systems very soon. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And that's all. Okay, see you guys next week.
For the new